Yeah, check 1 2, check 1 2. Is this mic on? Is this mic on? Hey, listen, man, it's the one and only trendsetter DJ Sense, and you're listening to CockTales, dirty discussions with Kiki and Medina Monroe. Yeah.
Today's cocktail is called the Velvet Sunset. What you're gonna need to make a Velvet Sunset is 1.5 ounces of coconut rum, 1/2 ounce of lavender syrup, 1/2 ounce of lime juice, freshly squeezed is best, but you know how we do it over here. And then you're going to need about 4 to 5 ounces of Rosé Prosecco. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take the Malibu rum first. You will need a cocktail shaker for this just to get everything all mixed up. So 1.5 ounces of this, bloop. And then we'll add in the 1/2 ounce of lavender syrup and 1/2 ounce of lime juice. Okay, we're gonna shake this up. There's no ice because the Prosecco's already cold. We will put this in our flute. So pretty. And then we'll top it off with some Rosé Prosecco. Ooh, 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 ooh. Well, should have known. Anyway, that is a Velvet Sunset. Cheers.
Well, cheers. Let's take a little tasty. Cheers. Cheers, Veronica.
Cheers.
Okay, we'll introduce our guest in a second. Let us taste our drink.
Welcome back to CockTales, Dirty Discussions, you guys. I am Kiki Said So.
And I am Medina Monroe.
How are you?
I'm doing okay. You know, life has been lifing a little bit. But I went to Iceland, and Iceland is a very healing environment. It was beautiful. It was amazing. I think this was the first trip that I've been on where I was actually thoroughly prepared. Because even though I don't mind the cold, I don't like being cold.
Right.
Girl, I've never been I didn't overpack, I didn't underpack. I was thoroughly prepared. I wore this little hat in Iceland, and I said, I'm going to wear it to record because I'm still in the Iceland spirit.
It's cute.
I feel like a little Viking. But I'll talk more about Iceland after for maybe next week. How are you?
I am doing well. I am dog tired today, but it's a good day. I've been having a good week, and the drink is good, and I'm just trying not to complain too much and be happy. But I cannot wait to go home and go to sleep. I have to tell you, I know I'm going to sleep good today. We're going to knock these episodes out and have a great conversation with Miss Veronica Torres. How are you?
Hi.
Hey,
Welcome.
girl.
I'm Veronica. Hi.
beautiful-
I'm a fan, by the way. So
y'all,
thank you.
this week is a listener appreciation episode. And so this is our girl, Veronica. She is an amazing lash tech in Atlanta. She does my lashes. And it's really dope how we met. We both went to an event. I don't really know what to call it.
Alex making cocktails.
Yeah,
Alex
Alex
cocktails.
Jack, he's been on the show too. He did a
Yeah.
cocktail making class. It was very sexy, very classy, very demure. And I met Veronica there. And when we were there, she was like, I actually listened to your show. Oh my gosh, like I feel like I manifested you into my life because I moved to
Yes.
Atlanta, and I was like, I'm going to meet them.
Yes.
And you had met half of us,
Yes.
me, and then you
Yes.
met Kiki at the live taping.
Yes.
Yeah.
And she did my lashes, and I just fell in love with her vibe, her energy. She has been to church with me. We've really been connected. We be sending each
Ever
other the memes.
since, literally day one.
Day one. You know when you
Yeah.
start sending people memes, it's real.
Yeah, I love
locked
doing
in.
that.
It was locked in. Yeah, I remember whenever you were introducing yourself, and you were like, "Yeah, I'm Medina. I record podcasts, like their discussion with Kiki and Medina." I had to stop you. I was like, "There's no way." I was like, "What?"
What are the
And
chances?
yeah, ever since then, we've been locked in.
I love
it.
it.
So
And
I
I
heard you say, you say that she just moved here. Where'd you move from?
North Carolina.
Okay.
Yeah.
What
yeah.
made you move?
Atlanta. I mean, it's full of opportunities, I feel like. And Asheville is so small, which it just got affected by the hurricane. So sad. But it's just like not a lot of opportunities for growth and not a lot of exposure. And I like scaled to like the very top of what I could scale to. And
And it was time
I
to
was
go.
like, I gotta go. Yeah, I gotta go. And I moved here over a year ago.
Mhm.
And I mean, I've been thriving ever since. And I've been
That's
meeting so many
good.
people and I love it.
And you be outside. I don't know what you actually be doing when you're outside, but every time I look at your Instagram pictures, I'm like, where are you going?
What kind of stuff have you been doing?
I've been outside, like you said.
It just looks like she's living her best single life.
So it's funny because I asked ChatGPT to like rate my Instagram and they're like, yeah, you're living the lifestyle that like everybody should, luxury lifestyle.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, I do feel like it.
It looks like it. I hope you're happy.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you how you first heard about CockTales.
So I'm gonna have to give my sister credit, Rebecca. She was like, she was traveling constantly between like North Carolina and Alabama. So she like is big on podcasts. She found you guys.
Mm-hmm.
She listened to you guys for like 6 hours. She was like, you will love them. Okay. And then I was like, all right, cool. Like I'm a lash artist. I work 12-hour days. Why not?
The lash techs keep podcasts thriving because really, y'all really can't. Your little wrists just be all day moving.
Yes.
All you can do is listen or
to
talk.
something. Yeah.
When you're getting your lashes done, do you talk or are you asleep?
The last person that was doing my lashes, she wouldn't let me sleep. She liked to talk a lot. And
She
we
was
had
a
some good
yapper.
combos.
Yeah.
But I used to always take naps. And there was one lady, she stopped doing lashes, but I would like fall asleep and be so knocked out, so comfortable in there. I would start snoring. And one time I woke myself up in a snore and she was on Instagram live, like interacting with somebody else.
Snore.
And so somebody was like, who is that snoring? She was like, oh, that's my client. She'd be knocked out. And then I woke up and I was like so embarrassed. I mean, they couldn't see me, but they could definitely hear me. And I know I was snoring hard because I woke myself up.
Oh,
So, you know, it's a mix.
No,
I guess
be
it
twitching my
depends.
sleep. I go to sleep. I used to be a yapper, and then I'm like, you got 15 minutes before I really will snooze.
Yeah.
Like,
It's like you're laying
until
there
the
for
end
an
of-
hour
yeah.
plus.
Mhm.
Let me get my little nap in.
we be
It's
talking.
therapeutic. Yeah.
It'd be a lot to talk about.
But it's like, it's early mornings that we are in. It's
Mhm.
like 8:15. So it's
Yeah.
like caffeinated already. And then,
Yeah, we be going through stuff and
Talking
needing
about
to
it.
talk. Okay, Veronica, are you single?
Okay, how should I answer this?
You know I'm trying to try my hand at matchmaking.
Mhm. Okay, so I am single. I feel like you are single until like
You're married.
Yeah, there's a ring on your finger.
Come on.
There's not. But I am very
I guess
interested.
I'm single too.
Okay, wait. But I am very interested in somebody at the moment.
Okay, so you're actively dating.
I'm actively dating.
You smiling?
Blushing and stuff.
Okay, then we won't put you out because I was gonna be like, she's looking y'all, but no, she's not. She's happy, and that makes me happy because so often you hear people say, especially in Atlanta, that dating is trash, and I'm trying to change that rhetoric.
I've had that experience too, though.
So have I, but that it
absolutely.
happens.
Yeah,
it's, you know, it's a part of the.
You just gotta change your groups. I feel like that is really big.
Switch it up.
Switch it up, yeah. And the areas that you're constantly like going outside too, which I had to switch that up too.
We all did, girl. Okay, before we move on to play, I'm curious to know, I wanted to just remind everybody, if you're interested in coming to Costa Rica with me, Paradise and Vibe, and Elizabeth Gilbert, please go to paradiseandvibe.com. We're going December 28th through January 3rd, I believe. Those dates might be wrong, but we'll definitely be there for New Year's Eve. I would love it if you came. It's going to be healing, a slight little turn up, and it's Costa Rica. Good food, good people. They got a blue zone there. Go to paradiseandvibe.com and come with me.
And if you guys are interested in planning out your 2025, March 19th through the 23rd, I will be hosting a trip and we are going to Curacao. We're going to have an excellent time. We're going to have some relaxation, but we're also going to get outside and do some activities. We've got a cooking class planned. We're going to go to some beach clubs. We have a yacht day. It's going to be a good time. There's only 5 spots left, so please hurry up and sign up. If you click the link in the description, you can sign up and you can reserve your spot for as low as a $300 deposit. So check it out. And now we'll play I'm Curious to Know with you so we can get more in your business.
I love this game.
Okay, Veronica. So do I. One of my friends told me while we were in Iceland, he was like, I played this with a new bae. He was like, y'all really got some deep, it goes from deep to nasty. I was like, yeah, well, that's
the
life.
only way. It's the only way.
Okay, so I'll go first. Veronica, I'm curious to know, what is your dream vacation? Vacation.
Oh, I don't think I've thought that far. I mean, actually, no. I did, because my dream like wedding is in Lake Como, Italy. I am like very chill. I don't like the beach too much. I do like mountains, lakes, and Italy.
Mm-hmm.
So Lake Como.
Okay.
For a
That's a
week.
nice spot.
That is a
It's
nice
beautiful.
spot. And I bet the food
Something
is
rich.
Definitely rich.
Luxury.
Okay, do you have a specific type and describe him in great detail?
Type?
It could be physical or mental, either way.
Definitely all. Okay. Gots to be above 6 foot. Sorry, I gotta be that one person. Height does matter. I've only dated, honestly, tall guys above like up to 6'10". But the one that I'm currently dating is like 6'4".
Have you
That's a
found
good
that
height.
the taller they are, when you get to that 6'6" and up range, it's a lot going
It's
on. Like
a lot.
too many people are after
It's too
them.
different up there.
The atmosphere is
like it's
different.
like,
It's too
all right,
different.
bro, somebody else can have you.
Yeah.
I can't handle it.
Yeah. No. I don't think I ever got to that point. I mean, I do like my tall kings, but I date black guys. Now this one I'm dating is mixed.
White and
that's a little
black?
different.
Spanish and black?
Mhm.
Okay. Is he
I
white mom mixed or black mom mixed?
Black, more mixed.
He's black mom
Yeah.
mixed. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah.
a difference.
It's a difference. But I need him to be a leader, high, intellectual, empathetic, showing vulnerability. Honestly, charismatic, and just somebody that I can joke around with. Yeah.
I love it.
It's like,
Okay, Veronica, I'm curious to know, have you ever broken someone's heart, and will you tell us about it? Everybody want to talk about when their heart got broken, but when you want to talk, whose heart you don't broke?
I feel like I've broken a few. I'm not gonna lie. I feel like, at some point I was like the red flag. You know,
You were the red
How?
flag?
yeah. Because like, although I'm so like loving and so sweet, like unintentionally I'm gonna lead you on because I don't know how to break it off, and I'm gonna go ghost mode, and that's the only way I used to know how to like break hearts. And then just never talk to them again. Yeah. Ghost mode.
Dang.
That does hurt.
Somebody's gonna see this clip and be like,
That's
how
how
we
she
go?
go.
They're gonna be like,
I was looking for her.
There she goes. Admitting on a podcast. Yeah, that's happened.
Do you think it's okay to remain friends with an ex when you're in a new relationship? Oh, you said that quick. Has that happened where you found out that somebody you were with was still very close friends with an ex?
I don't think so.
But you know boundaries.
But I know boundaries. Like, I know because at the end of the day, it's like, if we are not in a good spot, you're probably going to go to her. And that's just foul. So, yeah.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm curious to know, do you know your love language?
You know what's crazy is quality time is like big one for me. But then I'm like, if it's too much quality time, I like, isolate.
Now you want space.
Yeah.
It can become smothering.
Quality time, physical touch, and acts of service is a big one.
I think if I were to retake the test now, because it's always different and always changing, depending on like what type of season you're in, what you're going through. Right now, if I were to take the test, I think it would be words of affirmation, which that used to never be I used to never score high on that part. But now I'm at a point in my life where it's like, oh no, I need to hear some stuff.
Yeah.
I definitely need to be reassured a lot.
Mine would be acts of service. And I give that more now. It used to be quality time. And then I realized maybe I don't like quality time that much because my idea of quality time, I feel you on that. It can be a little bit smothering.
Yeah.
I do enjoy it though. But sometimes people think quality time just means time. Don't forget the quality part.
Yeah, quality time.
Quality. Because if we're spending so much time that we're irritating each other and now we're bickering, it's like that was not good quality.
Yeah.
What do y'all think? Because maybe somebody is watching this and they're like, well, I thought that, us Netflix might be quality time. Like, what would a quality time date be for you? And what would a quality time date be for you?
Are you saying quality time like we're not going nowhere?
Just whatever it would be for you. Because everybody's is different.
A quality time date. It could really be any activity. I just don't want what we're doing during that time. I want to have good conversation. If there is silence, I don't want anyone to feel anxious or start getting in their head and wondering why no one's talking. Sometimes it's nice to just be in someone's presence and enjoy their company while you're doing something else. Like, I don't need you to talk to me throughout the movie. We're watching a movie and we're enjoying it. We can talk about it later. I like watching movies and TV shows. I wouldn't be mad at Netflix with someone if I didn't feel like getting out or he didn't feel like getting out. You know, I think just making sure that when we aren't talking, it's a good quality conversation, not bickering over stuff and talking about things that mean something to each other.
What about you?
Quality time. I like to go on dates, whether it's lunch or brunch. When I'm getting to know somebody, I actually avoid dinner dates just because it's too intimate. So like after 2 months, all right, maybe we can go on a little dinner date, keep it like private and all that stuff. But normally quality time, I mean, I like to be out doing things. Because if we're like always in the house, I just feel like I'm isolated. You're either keeping me away.
I bet you want to go outside. Don't play with me.
What about if it's like not a new relationship and this is something that's been going on for a while? Do you think that it would change and maybe you could
I feel like we should go
more
out like once a week, like to dinner dates or to an event together. Like last night, I went to an event, a grand opening for an art museum, art gallery right beside my salon, and I mean, that would have been like the perfect date. And what's crazy is that he was actually invited by somebody else, you know, who was doing the opening. And yeah, I mean that's cute. Like going to the art museum, that's so cute.
Something different.
Or going out of town. I think road trips are great, and then just a little weekend getaway.
If you don't go on a road trip with somebody that you really like, you just get, it's like a...
You mentioned that at the last
You're literally in a metal box that you could crash and die in.
And you just learn so much when you're on a road trip with somebody. And you really do, like, it can make or break you. It can, that's friendships also. Because you're not going to listen to music the whole entire time. And then if you are, then you're like, you get to hear each other's vibe, your playlist type. And then we get to talk. We're playing games. I love a good road trip.
Yeah.
I love a good road trip. Quality. I think my favorite expression of quality time with somebody that I'm dating when we get more serious is when, Whitley said, y'all don't forget me.
Okay, she's here. I had to bring my baby to work today, y'all.
Is spending time with family, his family, my family, like just that togetherness. And then there's another one, doing something that requires a man to be vulnerable. And that can be several different things. Like normally something where we have to look in each other's eyes and sit really close. So maybe we're at home and it's like, okay, let's like get really close and look in each other's eyes and like meditate or manifest together. Like that's a difficult thing to do, even for me, but I like doing it. So
that's cute.
Okay. Do you have another one?
Yeah, I have one last one. I will do this one. What do you think about living together before marriage?
I'm okay with that. I was like raised in a traditional household where it's like you get married and then you live together. But the older I get and the more Americanized I get, we got to live together. Matter of fact, spend the whole weekend together. It's just like
I think you learn about people the more time you spend with them. So I could not imagine getting married and not living together first, at least for some period, because I would hate to find out afterwards that you live different than I thought. Because visiting for a weekend or visiting for a short period of time is still going to be different, I would imagine. What do you think?
My thoughts on it have changed, and everybody about to be like, what? But what you
think now?
I no longer want to do it.
Really?
I don't. This is
I can see why.
Yeah,
I can see why.
I think that now, especially since I've been on like a spiritual journey, things are just hitting me totally different. And I think that while it is important to know how somebody lives and spend as much time as you can with somebody in their space, I think that if that commitment isn't there, if you are doing it for marriage, everybody has a way out. Whereas if you were married, when some of these slight things happened, you have to work through them. And so I think that now that this is the second man that I've lived with, if we don't get married, I wouldn't be able to do it a third time. Like we gotta figure out something else to figure out how the marriage is gonna go, because it's just like, it's a lot. It's a lot. Have you lived with a man? Yeah, you definitely have.
I was thinking like, okay, we're engaged. We're going to live together during engagement.
Yeah. I feel
before
like
the marriage. Because then I
yeah.
can there's still an out without a whole bunch of extra legalities. I mean, I guess depending on how you're living together, maybe you bought a house, that's a little different. But it's different after marriage. I'm imagining, of course. I think it would be different after marriage. So I would like to maintain my own independent home. We can spend time with each other.
Oh, you want you want to live separately?
I mean, before all of this. And then when we're engaged, then we can figure out living together and try that out for a period leading up to being married.
Yeah, that's good though.
Yeah, because the engagement is our last trial.
Yeah.
And then it's like, all right, we're going to do this or not.
I feel like, I see your point of view, Medina.
Because I like having my space.
Because it just, especially like the older we get, I feel like because it is like a visual of what marriage is going to be like.
And some of the same things are going to happen whether you're boyfriend, girlfriend, or you're married. But when you're married, it's just different. Like you are like, oh, we got to work through this, as opposed to
commitment.
Yeah, as opposed to we're dating and it's just like, well, tried it out, didn't work, bye. And it's like, or we need to have some sort of writing in place. Just something. I like what Michael Jordan and his new wife have done.
I didn't know he got married again.
I don't know if it's his wife or his girlfriend, but he learned from that first divorce.
What did he do?
The prenup is very like, I don't know all the numbers. Y'all know I don't be knowing all the correct numbers.
But the
gist of it is with this new, whether it's his girlfriend or I think it's his wife. You know, his first wife took a lot of his money.
Hell yeah.
Well
did she hold him down during all that time?
She did.
So she deserves it.
Yeah, I'm not saying she doesn't.
She deserves it.
But everybody got to learn. I think he learned. So they have like this, I guess it would be a prenup where like if they were to split up, she gets like a certain amount of millions the first year. It's like very strategic. Like you don't get to just take all the everything
with his new wife.
Run with his new wife. Yeah.
Sounds too shabby to me. Nope. You know, that's why I'm like, when people are so anti-prenup, I'm like, do y'all realize that every prenup does not say you leave with nothing? Y'all just work out what you both feel comfortable with ahead of time. That's all it is. Literally prenuptial. Nuptial is the marriage.
Yeah, and prenups are smart. And then I feel like it makes you behave
feel more
better.
comfortable.
I think so too.
You guys, y'all already know what's gonna happen if this miss is gonna work. I would rather want to know and not go in blindsided.
Right. And be fighting for my life in court like some of these housewives do. I don't want that to be my life. I don't want that to be my life.
That's rough.
And now I gotta shake tables and throw wine and bitches on a reality show to try and make my rent payments. Like what? No, I can't be doing that.
I can't be doing that, y'all.
Ooh. No. All right. You got another one?
Okay, this is my last one, Veronica. I'm curious to know, what's something that you used to say you'd never be willing to try, but now you're curious?
Oh, that's a really good one. I don't really know. I'm gonna let you go first.
I never thought that I would try this, and I never thought that I needed to say I wouldn't try it. However, in Iceland, I tried whale.
What kind of whale?
Just how you look. I looked like that too. I was like, why is y'all eating whales? But when in Rome, do as the Romans. They eat horse. Also, I couldn't eat the horse.
Now, wait a minute.
I have connected.
That's too far.
On a vibrational level with horses. I will not.
And I would imagine it would be tough.
The whale or the horse?
The horse.
It looked
whales
like
are
steak.
fat.
Yeah, it looked like steak. They bring the whale out like Wagyu on one of those little grills. And it kind of like was chewy, but also kind of pieces of it melted in your mouth. Yeah. I just ate a piece. I couldn't do it anymore. It's a minky whale.
I'm going to have to look that up. I have no idea what that is. I tried shark before. It was very fishy to me. No need to try it again, but I'm glad that I was adventurous. I don't know what I could try that I said I wouldn't. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard because I feel like the older I get, like back then, I was like, all right, I want my little steak and salmon. Now I'm like, all right, give me the octopus, give me this, give me that. I'm like quick to try stuff out.
I'm an adventurous eater.
Yeah, I love food.
And then life experiences.
I tried soul food actually this weekend.
Soul food?
Yeah. Was that your first time?
That was my first time.
That was your first time eating soul food and you date black men?
I mean, I've never like went to like their Thanksgiving. That was a little different. Yeah.
So, did you like it? Did you have yams, little mac and cheese?
Girl, what'd you eat?
Yams? I didn't know what yams were.
Sweet potatoes with candy sauce on it.
So I like my little sweet potato casserole. But I've had, yams, I tried it on Sunday and by Monday I was like, I need another.
They're good, right?
Yams, yeah.
I like to take a fork of my yams and then get also on the fork the mac and cheese to get, and it makes it all sweet, little dressing.
I do put them side by side on my plate because I like the sauce dripping over. I don't really like the casserole, the sweet potato casserole, but I do like candied yams. That's my favorite way. And I love a sweet potato pie. Have you ever had that?
Sweet potato pie? No, I'm not big on pies. I am not that big on, I don't know.
But if you like the candied yams, you might like sweet potato pie because it's literally sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
And you like sweet potato casserole. It's in pie form.
Yeah.
It's the same. Maybe what we need to do for a bonus episode is
walk around
food. We cook. I'm going to teach both of y'all how to make some of my favorite recipes. Maybe you can teach us how to make some of yours.
And you can teach us how to make.
You can taste things that you ain't never had before, but you can teach us some stuff too.
Sweet
do you cook?
Casserole. Maybe, yeah.
Do you like to cook?
I do.
Okay, yeah.
I'm in the gym, so I got to cook. Because if not, all them little outings from food is going to stack up. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be your
Never
backup.
had soul food. That's hilarious.
Coming from North Carolina to Atlanta, huh?
I mean, I'm European. So it's always been whatever traditional food we have in Europe, was always for Thanksgiving.
Like what? What y'all be having? I'm very curious.
It's very different. Let me see if I can pull something
And what
up.
part of Europe?
Moldova.
So is it like Mediterranean type food?
Yeah.
Okay. I like a little Mediterranean.
I love it.
And it's and also very Russian. Here we go. Let me give you this.
Traditional foods. What you see?
Black people would be like, what is going on? You better give me a yam and a mac and cheese.
Pancakes
and
or pita
cornbread?
Pita.
It looks like is it a pita pie?
Pita pie, and it has some sort of cheese in it.
Wait a minute. What is this dessert?
Really
it looks like a stack of pigs in a blanket. Oh, not when I made it big. I gotta pass this back. Well, it's some kind of cake. Well, let me open it again.
Yeah, go ahead.
What is it?
Girl,
Moldovan cherry crepe cake.
Oh, it's crepes.
Okay, I see what it is now. But if you have one of those phobias with all the like things that look like honeycombs, I forget what that's called. Don't click that. The other stuff looks interesting.
I would definitely eat it.
Yeah, well, that was cherry. So yeah, I would try it. The other stuff, it was just like a lot of bread. I'm like, where's the beef?
What's funny is my mom actually makes that for Thanksgiving, when my siblings make it for Thanksgiving.
It's a pretty presentation when it's all stacked up like a little log cabin.
I always
really
wonder
cute.
when people date different cultures, do you ever wonder how, we talk about living together and we talk about differences in dating, but when races are different and the cultures are totally different, have you ever thought about how the two would mesh?
So my ex-husband was Hispanic. I feel like trying the Hispanic food was a little different for me because it's just although I love my Mexican restaurants, my fajitas.
I love a taco and rice.
Right? Going to Thanksgiving was so different because I was just eating just the rice and that was it.
Really? Yeah. I know his mama was like,
Look
bitch,
at her.
eat.
You need to eat this stuff.
Mexican people be like black people, why she not eating?
Literally. Yeah. I'm sure she probably did, but. Next.
Well, sometimes it's an X for a reason. It wasn't a match.
That was not a match.
Okay, y'all, we are going to move on to weird sex. When we come back, we're going to dive into the topics.
You said a man is not a necessity, a man is a luxury, like dessert. Yeah. A man is absolutely not a necessity. Did you mean that to sound mean and bitter? Oh, not at all. I adore dessert. I love men. I think men are the coolest. But you don't really need them to live.
Okay, so you asked if we'd ever tried anything new. I've got a question if you guys have ever tried this. It's called bagpiping. Do you know what it is?
I have no idea. I feel like it's going to be something crazy.
It's not that crazy. It's just a little weird to me. I found out what it was today reading some people's confessions online. Bagpiping is when people have a fetish for armpits. And just to be clear, it's not you just like to get a little whiff of funk from somebody's armpit, but it's just you really get turned on and you want to have sex. And armpits have to be involved, whether you're fucking the armpit or you're just getting a good, putting your nose in there really deep. And some people, this girl was telling a story about being on a dating app. And she thought it would deter people if she told them, yeah, I have really hairy armpits. She's like, I just wanted somebody who wasn't so into the physical of everything. I'm like, well, girl, good luck on a dating app, but all right. Anyway, She said the amount of men who hit her up and were so interested specifically because she had hairy armpits, because they were saying that they know that it will hold the smell in and they just wanted to smell it. And I said, and she found out it was called bagpiping. I'm not sure why. Couldn't figure that one out. But yeah, we learn something new every day. And if you too like armpit sex, you are into bagpiping, the more you know.
People are different. That is, I don't even know what I would do if somebody was like, let's utilize our armpits.
No.
You need to go.
First
Ted
of all,
Bundy.
speaking of armpits and hair, this was so like manic. I got a laser hair removal package literally within like 30 minutes of like me going to Whole Foods. I passed by Laser Way and then I got a package. And then the next day I started lasering my hair, my legs, my bikini area, and my armpits. Well, they said I can't shave during this time. Do you know how uncomfortable that makes me feel? I'm like,
wait a minute, what do you mean?
Like,
because I get laser and they told me to shave ahead of the appointment.
So
you can't wax.
The day of.
Yeah.
But like before that, like for 6 weeks, you can't shave. I'm like, this is crazy. Is that real? Should I still shave?
I don't think so. You need to ask them because I go to Simper Laser. Now they told me that I need to shave ahead of the appointment. I cannot wax or sugar because it will pull the hair from the root. And so when it's zapping, it won't get it. But you have to shave and you need to shave ahead of the appointment. They said not the same day because it's scratching your skin, you know, so you don't want it to be sensitive, but shave, because if not, I made the mistake and I didn't shave good and it's going to burn.
Well, wait, what are you shaving if you lasered it off?
Because it takes multiple sessions. It's not a one-time thing. You have to go. And so it's like slowly killing
So
you.
how long in between does it grow back? The normal time, like between a wax?
No, well, sort of. So like I do my armpits, legs, bikini area, my face, and some other areas y'all need to worry about. But I'm a very hairy girl. So I'm getting a lot of my body lasered. I started with the armpits. So I do the armpits, and then it was like maybe 3 or 4 weeks like a wax before hair started growing back. It was noticeably less. But then I went for a year, going every 6 to 8 weeks for my sessions, and now I don't really have hair grow back. It's like 1 or 2 hairs every now and again. So I'll shave those off. But Simper does unlimited touch-up. So when I saw a hair coming, I made an appointment and they zapped it, and I haven't been shaving.
Does it hurt?
Yeah.
Okay, so
they say it don't, but it does.
Yeah, they said it's like, if you can tolerate it. And I had like a lot of laser done to my face. I had microneedle sessions. Girl, I could handle the bikini area. I was twitching on like this part right here and my hips. They hurt. That part hurt. My hips hurt. I was like, this is.
If it hurts worse than waxing, I can't do it because I just can't do it.
I don't think it hurts worse than waxing, but it does hurt.
It does hurt.
It does hurt.
We really do this for beauty.
For beauty.
When they get in your booty crack, I don't really mind that part though. That part probably hurts the least. I think it's
that's the rough zone.
Yeah,
it's just weird to like have somebody look at it. I'm like, all right, that's a
while you spreading them cheeks,
literally.
Got this laser going. Let's get them hair.
It's crazy to me.
The things we do. Anyway, you guys keep sending those weird sex stories to me and tell me about some of your wild fetishes that you don't think that anybody is into. Maybe I'll help you find a kinky match.
This is a weird shout out to give right after weird sex, but it just popped up in my head. Oh, wait,
see, this is what I was talking about y'all in that other episode.
Please.
Well, I didn't want to kick anything. I'm in an awkward
She's happy.
position.
I think whenever dogs do that, they're happy. So she let you.
And horny a little.
You need to chill. Anyway.
But I wanted to say there is a movie out that Denzel Washington's son and himself directed or produced. I don't be knowing all the lingo. My brother's in it. It's called The Piano Lesson. You saw it? Oh my God.
I meant to say that I was going to wait till next week, but yeah, I saw it. It was good.
I went with my brother to go see it, and I was just so proud of him. My brother's an actor. He has an acting school out here in Atlanta. It's called Acts of Freedom. So if there's any new actors, veterans in the game, go to his class. But go see The Piano Lesson. I didn't know it was a spooky movie. I was a little scared. But it was really good. And I'm just so proud of you, Leek. So shout out to you. I know you won't hear this because you don't listen to the show. But just want y'all to go see the movie.
Yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it. And by the time you see this, it's going to be available on Netflix.
Yeah.
So you need to All right, you guys, we have a new sponsor and I am very excited. So I went to the mailbox the other day. I'm checking my mail. I had packages and I hadn't ordered anything. So I didn't know what it was. When I opened it up and I saw that it was products from Osea, I was so excited because I've tried some things before.
It's quality.
It is. Nothing from this line though. I didn't even know about it. So I was so excited to see it. When I busted that box open, not only was I surprised at the amount of products that they sent our way, but but the quality of the packaging, you know, sometimes like stuff spills out when you order it online, especially like your skincare. And when you're getting quality stuff, it's not cheap and you don't want it to be in the box. It needs to be on my skin.
Right.
So they sent a ton of different products. There's a body polish, there's a body oil, there's some serums, body wash, body lotion, everything to have your skin glowing and looking beautiful. And the best part was it also came with little travel sizes. And so the containers are like glass jars and stuff. And so you can't really squeeze that out into your travel size. So I'm going to throw mine in my luggage as I'm getting ready for the holidays and everything. So I'll just keep it in my carry-on. It's small and it'll be TSA friendly. But I was also thinking I can go on their website and purchase enough because they're giving away for Black Friday and Cyber Monday, November 26th through December 2nd, you can get a free little travel pack with so many of their products.
I love free. I love free.
What did you think of them?
So anything that has seaweed or algae in it, I am addicted.
Okay.
I love when ingredients like that are in a skincare product. And y'all know I do not play about my skin. I love Osea. They have a seaweed body wash and they have an algae body wash and they have a body polish like you were saying. And that body polish, you guys, when you put it on, it's like gel and it turns into like this milky substance. It's like bathing if you were a princess.
Or the Little Mermaid.
Or the Little Mermaid. It's just, we have a one of the questions in our card deck that says, let me feel your hands. And if you do not have like extremely smooth hands after you use Osea, you will, girl. It feels like soft life activity.
It really does. And you know something? I love a good body oil because when I think about skincare, honestly, the first thing I usually think about is like my facial skin. And I'll use good products on the rest of my body. But wintertime, it's easy to forget because typically we're covered up. I mean, it's hot lately, but typically you're covered up. So your skin is a little ashier. Everything's rough. What I don't like is when I have a body oil and it's just like very greasy, I look like a Thanksgiving turkey. And then I'm afraid that it's going to like be on my clothes. I need it to absorb. This absorbs really quick. So you're not going to have that greasy feel, but you are going to look radiant and moisturized. They have some really good stuff. If you go on their website and you spend at least $125 on their products, that's how you'll get the freebies. So you definitely want to go ahead and stock up on what you need for you. And so that people aren't in your drawers and your cabinets using up your products, get them their own little set.
And this is another one of those great stocking stuffers or a secret Santa gift. This is one of those things that'll have you looking good.
Yeah, so to be specific, it's the best of body travel set. So you're going to get a body wash for free. You're going to get the cleansing body polish for free, a hyaluronic body serum, and the algae body oil. Like, you can't go wrong.
You can't.
Y'all, I'm going to put the link in the description of this episode and make sure you use our code CockTales so that you can get that freebie when you check out. And then send us pictures and tag us and show us how good your skin is looking, okay?
So this week we have a few different topics that we want to talk with one of our favorite listeners about. If you guys ever want to join us on an episode as a listener appreciation episode, make sure y'all join Patreon. Go to patreon.com/CockTales. And you never know, maybe you can come on, talk about your business, try to get some clients and meet us, talk to us, and catch up with us like friends do. So Veronica and Kiki, I wanted to ask y'all because I saw a post that one of my girlfriends reposted. I can't remember exactly what it said, but it started with, what would you tell your younger self about falling in love? And the response was something like, don't fall in love, grow in love, something in love. And I thought it was just like a beautiful reminder. And if you haven't really, the more that you grow, I think you change about what you would tell your younger self, as opposed to when we're younger. We are just like Disney falling and Gone with the Wind twisting into love. What would you tell your younger self about falling in love?
I feel like, okay, so I grew up in a household of 6 kids. I'm the middle child.
Ooh.
I definitely have middle child syndrome. Love, the way it was just like given out, like between my parents or like in our culture. Like I didn't start saying I love you, at least like to my friends until 2020, 2019.
Mm-hmm.
And that was a little different. So I feel like I started like learning more about love in 2021. But that just made me like, you know, going back to like my younger self is don't seek validation and like mask it as love. Because that is not one way to go. And I feel like I did that a lot until I realized what true love really was. And yeah, I mean, find it within yourself. Yeah. Because the more you pour into your cup, you're able to, you know, give that love. So
That is very true.
That is very true. I was talking to a girlfriend of mine at the airport when we were connecting at JFK to go to Iceland. And we were talking about being whole. And if you're not, which a lot of people aren't whole in relationships, including myself. And she said something very profound. She was like, when you are not whole, you're more than likely going to attract someone else who isn't whole. And so even though this is not ideal for most people, and a lot of people don't care because you might just want to be with somebody, or you just might not have the level of awareness. But I was like, so you're basically saying that when somebody's dating, it would behoove you to have a body scan of yourself and recognize like what you might be attracting based off of what you are literally like feeling in your body, or how much wholeness or less than wholeness you might have, and know that whoever is attracted to you in that season, not saying they're not the right person and that people can't work at things.
A relationship is literally going to show you exactly like what you need to work on. Yeah. It's like a reflection. So
a whole reflection, a whole reflection. I think that's what I would tell little Shawty, little Medina about love. little Shawty. It's going to be, I think I would tell her it's going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult, and don't think that it is going to be
not Disney. What Disney portrays,
it's not.
It is
or
not
like whatever
anything in a fairy tale
Instagram is
book.
like flowers, XYZ trips, and this and that. It's such a facade. It's
like that's
they
a part
never,
of it. It's a part of it, but that's not the main part about loving someone. And you can even look at, if you take romance out of it, look at friends that you love, or even family members. You love your people through really rough times. Like it's just a really interesting take on how we have to teach girls to unlearn that. You don't really have to. The boys didn't fall for it.
Yeah, I would say. Well, some of them. I would say. I'm trying to think of how to word this, because I agree with what you said about being whole and understanding those things and not seeking validation. And it's also like, cool it.
I know said, I want some booty.
She does. She wants his foot. I'm telling y'all, you see her in action, she gets so anxious. Anyway, I'm trying, just don't pay attention to that. She's distracting me. I would say, you know, it's really hard to love somebody and for someone to show you love in a true way when everything you're doing doesn't prove that you love yourself. And how can anybody else really love you when everything about what you're doing is not loving yourself? So focus on that first. Make sure that you're happy with yourself. And that doesn't mean that you don't have room to grow or you don't have things that you want to change. But sometimes I found that I was beating myself up about certain things. And then maybe somebody would validate, oh, it's okay. You're young. You're going to grow. But they're not encouraging growth. They're just saying it's okay for you really. They're saying it's okay for you to be broken right here because this is how I can keep you. That's not love. So like continue to work on yourself outside of romantic relationships and do your best to feel comfortable, because once you get to a point where you do not feel broken or you do not feel lost, even though you might not be where you want to be, it's going to hit you and you'll know. If you don't know if you're there, you're not there. But when you do get there and you do really feel comfortable with yourself, it gives you a new sense of confidence and it allows you to look at other people in any sort of relationship, friends, family, romantic life. It's just a different outlook on life. So work on that, because it's also going to give you peace in the decisions that you make and the friendships and relationships that you decide to keep and foster, and the ones that you realize you have to let go to stay on the right path.
Yeah. I agree. Have you ever been dating someone or in a relationship with them and you have one of those like intuitive moments, like your intuition is talking to you and you don't listen to it? And what happened? Intuition is it's crazy.
It will like literally, you will feel it in your stomach for weeks before you even take action. I feel like, yeah, that was me. That was me at one point. And I, after a few months, because I feel like I was always, if I was not secured in that like relationship or, you know, the person that I was dating, I was always anxious. And the moment I started learning about like anxious attachments and all that stuff back in 2022.
Have you read the book Attached? It's so
No,
good.
but so Jay Shetty covered a whole lot of like topics on like attachments or like anybody that he had on the podcast. I was always talking about it. So that's how I became aware of it. And I realized I was anxiously attached. And then also it depends on the season in life that I'm in. I felt like the last guy that I was like dating, I feel like I got anxiously attached at one point and I was like, that's not good. So I left.
Really?
Yeah.
You were like, I can't.
Yeah.
It's good that you were self-aware enough to realize that though that time.
Yeah.
There was a book, I forget what it's called. Shambudra wrote it about the attachment styles. That's how I got familiar with it. And I was like, ooh, I see myself in some of these things. And
What
it's
attachment
just
style were you? Because that's another thing that can change.
At the time, I think it was anxious avoidant.
Oh, I can be that too.
And I should take the test again to see how I am now, because I mean, when I read that was when it first came out many years ago. We were in 20 studios ago at Mean Streets. So it's a long time ago, but I thought it was so interesting and it was something that I wasn't familiar with. And you know, sometimes people are like, I don't know about stuff like that, but there's a lot of psychology behind it, and plenty of people have spent years and years researching, and there's something to be said. While you may not fit every example, if you don't know your attachment style, you should look at it. I'm constantly striving to have a secure attachment style, but it was definitely anxious avoidant. And it's like, what that was at the time for me, it's like anytime anything like didn't go how I thought it was going to go or how I wanted it to go, I would get so nervous and think the person was just going to leave. If there was an argument or even a minor disagreement, I'm just like panicking and thinking that the person is going to run. And so then maybe I either run or I try to cling on. And it's just like, girl, first of all, let all that shit go. Whatever was going on back then, you didn't need it. I mean, it was great for cocktails at the time, but that's about it. So you're welcome. But yeah,
Facts.
Took a lot of therapy and money in therapy to make it through.
Well, I'm not gonna lie. So whenever with the previous guy, it's not the one that you were thinking. with the previous guy with the anxious attached. So like he would go like almost the whole day without like texting me. And I'm like, this is not cool. So then like he would text me at night and then he'd be like, hey, like, you know, I had a long day, this and this and that. Well, turns out like he had a whole roster. So like I had every right to feel the way I felt. And what's crazy is that like one of his little side piece actually approached me. Like she stalked me for like 6 months, y'all.
6 months?
Yeah, 6 months. And then like she approached me one time and like in person. But long story short, yeah.
That intuition
was there. So
it was funny because I've been doing this thing where I'm rereading different journals. Have you ever done that? Girl.
I'll be losing them. I would like to.
I have them stored in my memory.
It is like reading a book because you get to see like what has changed and what you still talking about. And and you get to see like, you know, you're on the other side of what you were, whatever was going on. And so the dude who wrote the 6-page Google Doc about me, I had wrote about him in my journal. And it was so funny because before that happened, I said in the journal, I can't quite pinpoint it, but something's off about him. And I don't really like him, but I'm just going to keep dating him. Like I said that. And then I knew something was off with him. Knew it. And he wrote that 6-page Google Doc, sent it to my sister, my mom, my best friend, and my brother, who he didn't know them, and found them on Instagram and sent it to them. And I was like, well, I said something was off about him.
Google Doc 6 pages long?
Girl,
about you?
Absolutely. It is.
How old was he?
We were the same age.
When
This
was
was a
this?
few years ago. I think this was 2021.
It sounded
The
childish,
balls.
huh? Because like, why would you
Where's
do
the
that?
audacity?
It was
God.
wild. It was wild.
No.
I think it's been on sale lately because everybody's been having it. I don't know where do
Yeah.
y'all pick up your
Yeah.
audacity for the
Where?
men who are watching this? Please let us know. I would like to get 2, please. 2 pieces of audacity.
I'll just take one piece. Can I get one?
Does it expire? Do you have to re-up? Like, what's going on?
Mhm.
All right, V. What matters to you when it comes to the people that you're dating? Like, for instance, character and kindness. How much does character and kindness matter on the scale?
I mean, at the end of the day, that's like what's going to lead to meet the parents and just what's going to keep you around. Because if you're mean, I don't got time for that. No, because I got 2 little girls that I'm bringing along. So it's like, if you're not meeting those certain like empathy and integrity and emotional, intellectual, all that good stuff, like it's just, and the leadership. If it's not there, then.
What would you say is an example of something somebody has shown you that let you know that they are empathetic? Because it's like, sometimes, we say these things that we want. We want a leader. We want somebody who shows empathy. We want somebody who is kind. But what does it actually look like for you?
Okay, I'm like not even trying to blush, but the other night. So here recently, I've been like very overstimulated. And like I was opening up to the guy that I'm dating and I was telling him, I was like, yeah, I got overstimulated. And I just had to like walk away from whatever event that I was at. And then he was like, so when that happens, he was like, how can I be there for you as, how can I be there for you? And I was like, no one has ever asked me that question. So I don't even know. So now I gotta sit back and really just like, all right, like he's a good catch. I feel like he asks all the right questions that has me looking at him that he is definitely like a high value man and a leader.
When he asked you that and you didn't have an answer, did you figure out the answer since then? Like, what could he have done? No?
Actually, I was thinking about it earlier today too. I feel like I do need space, but I also, it's like, calm my mind. You don't even have to like talk. You could just rub my feet. I don't know. Something that is just like, because I've always been the type of person to just isolate. And I feel like, I don't know if that's going to change. Because I don't know if it's like words. I know at the end of the day, it's like, it's going to be okay. But I've been so like hyper independent my whole life. I feel like, I don't know if that's going to change. Yeah.
And that's okay as long as you find somebody who can understand it, you can communicate that to them. So like you told him, I was overstimulated at this event, and now you're thinking about it. It's like maybe if he just would have touched you in a non-sexual way, but something to let you know I'm here. And maybe you don't even feel like talking about it. That's how I feel sometimes. Like I don't always want to talk about stuff. Sometimes it's like, I know that I'm being a bit dramatic in the moment. And it's nothing that anybody can say or do to fix it, because it was just like, maybe it was just too fucking loud in there. It's a lot of noise. It's a lot of people. There's so much going on. I need a breather. Or, if it is hectic for whatever reason in my day, sometimes it's nice to have somebody who will just sit there and like rub your leg, rub my foot. It's still swole. And
Why is it still swollen?
Huh?
Why is it still swollen?
I had a few falls.
Oh, so it didn't heal correctly.
Well, the bone is aligned, but I've had several falls. So I'm still doing my physical therapy and everything. It's only been a year.
Okay.
Falls for what?
Oh,
I had a surgery on my foot. And then shortly after the surgery, and then multiple times throughout my healing process, which is a year, I fell several times. So yeah. So it's not as swollen as it was, but it is swollen. Yeah. So sometimes I just need somebody to rub this foot.
Yeah. I feel it.
And not hump it.
That baby was really humping on your whole leg. She tired out now.
Yeah, she's tired out.
That's how it goes. So just ignore it and let it happen. Let it ride.
How important on the scale, let's say 1 to 10, 10 being the best, 1 being the worst, and give us a number. How important is communication?
10.
10?
I feel like I'm the type of person that I want to resolve the issue right then and there. And this is like due to like my ex-husband. Like anytime he would like, there's like a little confrontation happening, he would just run away. And then would like come back and act like nothing happened. So like the situation would never get resolved. So no, I need the communication. It's very important.
Do you feel like you're a good communicator?
I can be, yeah. I'm going to tell you like right then and there. I don't like try to go behind, sugarcoat things. I'm very direct. So I'm like, this is what's bothering me. Let's work on that. And if it's like, I'll give you like 2 chances.
It's so interesting with people when we talk about communications because we can do that part of the communication.
Yeah.
But then when someone's like, how can I help you? We're like,
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe you could. I think it goes both ways. Like communication is I don't know if it'll ever be a 10, at least in my world. It's a constant like work because there have been situations where certain things I'm okay with communicating. And then there's other moments where it'll come up and maybe this never came up before. And I'm like, I don't even know.
Or like,
but I
just
feel like because
receiving
we've
what
never
someone
been
else has to
asked
say.
those questions. We've never been asked. I feel like I've never been asked that question because it's like if I'm opening up to a
can I
guy,
help?
he'd be like, yeah, like they're like, oh damn, that's crazy. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Definitely heard that one before. Definitely heard
But
that one
still,
before.
there's a level of communication in a scenario like that where I just feel like women aren't comfortable in saying, hey, I really would like some help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want you to just like be like, oh, that's crazy. Be like, this is what this is what I need. Can you provide it?
Yeah.
Honestly, I think it's true for both sexes because men don't do it either. And I think sometimes that's where some of the little bickering or other issues come is because you're holding on to something. And while we all say we know that nobody can read our minds, it's like you would think that a person just knows. Like how many times have people said that? You should just know that this is what I need.
Which I'm trying to get out of saying stuff like that because it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. And it's like, I think that everybody does it in different ways. And then when those needs aren't being met, it manifests in different ways and it comes to a head. And then it's like a problem. Or maybe this person shuts down totally because they feel like you don't care. Or, all sorts of things. It's hard to open your mouth and say it sometimes. But I think, too, the flip side of that is how comfortable do you make someone to share? Like when somebody does tell you an issue that they have or something that they didn't like, do you have a big reaction that could be negative or do you receive the information well? I find with myself, I won't speak for anyone else, but I have to consciously work on when somebody expresses anything negative towards me, how am I reacting to that? Because if I have a reaction that puts them on defense or makes them feel away, then it's like, how do you really expect to resolve it? Because now you're upset because somebody's telling you something, but you would want them to tell you if you care to fix it. And if you don't care to fix it, why are you around said person? You got to think about that and how you react. And when both people in any relationship are conscious of that and try to do better, I can tell you it helps out a lot. I was working on that with someone and I was like, I got to not have such an attitude and control my facial expressions. So I just make sure I get my Botox every month because it's hard. It's a conscious mind effort, but sometimes, you can't help when you have to look at somebody crazy. Now, I don't get it in my neck. So like if I have to cock that head or look, like I'm still working on it. It's a work in progress, but I'm trying not to be so quick to like, well, what the fuck are you talking about? Or retorting something back about what they did. Well, today's not your turn. You should have spoke up.
That'd be
and
the
I
hard
hate when
part.
that happens.
That'd be the hard
but
part.
you got to take it and like, okay, let me think about
Are you
this.
a retired crash out? Are you a retired crash out?
No, I'm a retired ghoster.
Okay.
Because I will leave. Boy,
Yeah.
fuck you. And I don't want to be like that forever.
I know.
That's not cool.
Yeah.
Or I just sit there and take stuff. And it's like, for what? Are you trying to pretend to be something that you're not? Like, what is this? I don't know what that was about, but like that phase is over too. And it's just like, okay, I'm not crashing out. I'll listen. I'm not always going to agree.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be so argumentative. That's the part I'm working on. Don't go tit for tat. Don't be trying to hit below the belt. You don't like it when it happens to you. So why do that to somebody else? But I will vocalize that too because you can keep going.
Do you ever get your
and
lick
eventually,
back? Do you ever get your lick back?
Absolutely.
Okay.
But I ain't trying to do that no more. I want to close that chapter. I'm trying to close that chapter. I don't think I'll do that
There's
anymore,
a few on
but
the
you
list
never
that
know.
still deserve it.
Yeah. I don't want to be that vengeful person.
Sometimes, okay,
It
but you just got to
hurts.
go down the list. It's like, all
hard
right,
being
who
a
is
human.
like the check mark
Especially
that really
when you
needs
good.
it?
You're trying to just be a good human. You ever been watching something and you instantly about to like roast somebody or like be like, or go to the comments and be like, I know and it's like, oh, stop doing that. Just love everybody.
Well, right now, I just do it with less people. I call my sister Mallory, and we do it. We were doing it a lot over the past 2 weeks. There's a lot of stuff going on in our lives. Well, a lot of people's lives. And we were like, you know what? We're the only two that we can just sit and do this with. We've got to let it out. If we don't let it out, it's going to come out later.
It's going to fester
and it's about to be Thanksgiving, so we don't need to. Whoa. I didn't think about festering and cancer. But yeah, it could do that too. So hopefully we'll stop doing that with each other because we're enabling.
Okay. Okay, last one. Okay. Shared life goals. What are some life goals that just need to, like, the person has to be like, this is what I want out of life, or they don't want that out of life and you're like, I can't really. For me, it's like, if you do not want to be a husband and you do not want to be a father, and there are some people who are husbands and fathers and they don't want to be. I don't want to be. That has to be like, that is a want for you. Not you're like, well, I guess if you just gotta get married.
A deal breaker.
That's a whole deal breaker. Like, we gotta be in alignment with that part.
I mean, you have to want to be in a committed marriage and have kids. Because if you're just doing it just to knock off a few goals, you're never gonna be satisfied. But no, that's the one thing. I'm glad that I'm like, I'm open to getting married again. Children are on the table. I want 2 more. I want to live somewhere by the beach. I'm thinking Miami. Miami. Yeah. Dubai was on the list, but we'll see if we even go that far. But
are you saying if he was like, I don't want to live in Miami ever, Miami's not my spot, you would be like, I can't date you?
I don't think I'm gonna go for anybody that isn't willing to like move out of Atlanta.
Okay.
Because I like Atlanta for what it is, but it's just like, we're just not in alignment. Yeah, because I don't want to be by the beach. I want to be in a high rise or a house or whatever. Like, both entrepreneurs. I think living a lavish lifestyle. Yeah, but I don't want to always be outside either. So.
What about, well, you said being a father.
If you don't believe in God, if you are not, if you're not a man of God, it just won't work at where I'm at right now in life. I'm not sure that some of the traditional things that I would like would even happen. So I think those are my main ones. Man of God, you need to want to be a family man, a husband, forgiving, able to be vulnerable. I'm looking dead in that camera.
You got something to say today.
And nothing has to be, like, the vulnerability part, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I need you to try. Like, I want somebody who's like, you're able to just try.
I think it's hard for a man to be vulnerable because I feel like they've probably had an experience where the woman like used that against them, like that blackmail.
So have we.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so have women. Like, I say that all the time when men are like, it's easy for y'all. It's not.
It's not easy. And I also think it's something that's taught. And sometimes, like, there's a reason that when you do go to therapy, or even if you don't go and you're just watching YouTube and Instagram therapists and you think that's the same, it's not. But even still, when they talk about asking about your childhood, it's because those are the formative years. And so when you are discouraged from doing that, it is very hard to change later. You've been years and years and years of being told, shown, and taught that that's not what you should do. I had a conversation with somebody a couple months ago, and I was doing an interview, and one of the camera people that was there, we had a conversation after, and he was saying how men should not be vulnerable with their women and open up about what's going on with them. And I was like, wow. And he was like 40 something, right? And so I would expect like a child to say this because this is what he thinks. But I was like, well, I was curious because I'm like, this is so crazy to me. But let me ask him why he feels that way. And he was very stern in his views and saying that this is how he was taught and this is how he was brought up. And he should not be saying these things to his woman because it's going to make her think that he is weak, and he just needs to figure it out, and men need to learn to find solutions. And I was like, I understand wanting to find a solution and figuring it out. But what's wrong? We're talking about your wife, not some girl off the street. If this is your wife and you're going through it and y'all are a team, no matter how, the balance of power works in your relationship, what's wrong with letting her know? And you never know what she can do to help you. Is that not your helpmate? Like, you want to talk about traditional things. Where are these traditional ideas for you coming from? And what's wrong with sharing that? And I asked, are you afraid that it's going to get thrown back at you or it's going to be used as a weapon? He was like, no, you just don't do that. Like, you got to always be strong. And I said, and I think that that's why you might die of a heart attack. And y'all be having high blood pressure and stress. And I didn't want to say it at the moment, but I was thinking that's why you're balding too, because you're holding all of this stress in your body and it's manifesting in a physical way. Stress literally causes hair loss in everybody. Bad skin and everything else. See, it's making my girl down here upset. And you just can't be doing that. And I'm like, if you're with somebody who loves you, hopefully this person will be open. I will speak for myself. If I was with a man who was feeling down and needed to share some things where maybe he could be considered weak, he should feel comfortable enough to share with me. And maybe I can be the person to encourage him or uplift him. That's what we're there for.
There's so much power in
both of us doing this for each other. You got a partner that's going to be there for you. I shouldn't be looking at you like you're weak because you're having a bad day. I don't think that you have it all figured out.
There's so much power in being able to say, look, this is hard for me.
Yeah, I'm having a rough time.
People really don't look at those moments as like, this is a moment of you get to know somebody better. I'm really starting to think that like people don't really want to know people. You want it to stay on this like a certain type of surface level, get kind of deep, but let's keep everything pretty.
And it's like, I'm your wife. I don't need a facade. I need to know what's really going on. Why are you stressed?
I can't have no facade. I'll be having my hair falling out and acting crazy and scratching like crazy. And
hair is expensive if you're going to have to buy it when it all falls out,
Go to Turkey.
Ain't nobody going to Turkey now.
Well, if I start balding, I sure will. The fuck?
Yeah. But then when men say things like that, it also makes me wonder, like, do you have a woman in your life that does she know how to be soft to that part of you?
But you have to remember the fact that like the growing up was so different as a millennial and then like being raised by what are our parents called?
Boomers?
Yeah. It was completely different.
It definitely was different.
So it's like, and then to like even be soft or like be vulnerable, that's all new as like post-COVID. It's started being more information about it and and just even seeking like therapy. So a lot of people are just newly exposed to it. And I feel like our side of like Explore page, Instagram, if you're not really seeking it, it's never going to pop up on your feed.
And that's why people got to look at more things in social media and get outside and touch grass and have different experiences in your life and interact with real people. The internet is great. Y'all don't leave the internet. We need you. But there's other places to go. And it's important to go out and interact with people who can talk to you about what's really going on in their day-to-day life, good, bad, or indifferent, versus the curated things that they put out, you know? And you just never know what people are going through if you don't tell them. And that works both ways. So it's like you gotta, if you want help or you need help, let somebody know.
Go seek it.
People can't pull it out of you. And if you are living your life in a facade, like you're never gonna get what you want. You're not going to attract it. Because everybody thinks you're okay. You're fine, You just got to reach out and touch. Yeah. Well, on that note, we're out of time for the topics, but we do want you to help us answer some questions from our listeners. If you have a question that you would like for us to answer on the show, send it in. Email us advice at cocktailspod.com and put advice in the subject line.
Okay, Veronica.
Okay.
This person titled this advice letter, F My Baby Daddy. Ooh. Hey, ladies. So a little backstory. I was with my ex for 4 years, 2 being together physically, and 2 of those years he has been in prison. I loved this man with everything in me, and I genuinely I just thought about something. I'll tell the story after. Okay. I loved this man with everything in me, and I genuinely thought he was my husband up until about 2 weeks ago when he admitted to cheating on me when I was pregnant. I'm heartbroken and find myself randomly crying here and there. I don't understand how you can be there through the entire pregnancy, have sex with me, rub my body, buy me anything and everything, then cheat on me, knowing I'm carrying your baby. I personally would have rathered him leave me while pregnant or give me the cold shoulder. Don't fake fuck me. I know these men ain't a big catch, but the fact that no signs were there, I don't get what that means. They're not a big catch.
Y'all gotta use punctuation, man.
Yeah. But the fact that no signs were there and he constantly reassured me that I was everything he's ever wanted and that our family meant the world to him is mind-blowing to me. This is not only disloyal, but betrayal and a stab in the back. I will say that I'm thankful he was in prison at the time because I might have took it harder had we still had that physical and sexual attachment. I often find myself daydreaming about who he had sex with, where I was at the time, if he brought somebody in our home, if he had raw sex, does she look better than me? Is her body in a better shape than mine, etc. I love him bad, but I did decide to leave because disloyalty is not a flaw that I have, and I'll be damned if I be with someone who can't even be faithful to me while carrying their child. I'm proud of you, girl. Outside of being extremely heartbroken, I'm extremely embarrassed. This is the only guy I've had around my other child, my family. Hell, I even was around his child and his family. I'm extremely embarrassed to let everyone know we're no longer together because a lot of people told me to leave him when he got locked up due to a lot of prisoners cheating. To also add, this is the second man I have a child with that I'm not with. I guess my advice to you guys is, how do I get out of the phase of being embarrassed that we're no longer together and that I'm a single baby mama with 2 kids, 2 baby daddies? I'm just so torn. No man from my father down to any man I've been with has genuinely loved me, nor have they ever been faithful. To be 100% honest, I feel worthless, disgusted in myself and my decisions. I feel like a dummy. I'm honestly disgusted to even write this in. Please just tell me something. I have no one to even talk to this about. And I love you both, by the way. First of all, I want to say thank you for the honesty.
Yeah, I'm so sorry that you're going through this and sending love right back to you. That is...
I think let's talk about being embarrassed part. Girl, sweet baby girl, I want you to put your hand on your heart. When I tell you, if you really took a walk through anybody's real life, we all got more than a few things to be embarrassed for.
That's a fact.
And a lot of people don't ask for help about it, and they're still lying about it, and they're not telling the real truth to whoever they're trying to get advice from because you don't really want somebody to know those embarrassing moments. So I'm telling you, like, I felt that so badly. I don't have kids, but I've definitely done several things where I'm just utterly embarrassed. Go look at the episode with Mandy. That still to this day is just like, and that's on a minute level. There's larger things I'm embarrassed about in my life. But what I do know is you cannot let that hold you back. Because like we were just saying earlier in the episode, you have to constantly work on becoming a whole version of yourself so that you don't tear yourself apart. And one thing that I know, when you have kids and you're a mother, you got to be there for those babies. Yeah. And you don't want to repeat this cycle for them. And that's not to scare you. That's to encourage you to do better, to know there's purpose for you. You made some mistakes. You got 2 baby daddies. People kill people. You didn't kill nobody. I hope not.
And at the end of the day, he's in jail, not you.
Yeah.
Right. He's the one who messed up the relationship. You seem like you gave both of those men love and beautiful children to show for. You took care of yourself during your pregnancies, all of that. I just hate that happened to you, but you having 2 baby daddies is not the end of the world.
At all.
You know who you need to look at? Look at Kamora Lee Simmons. She got a few of them.
Look at Sarah Jakes Roberts.
And they keep bouncing back. People will have you on the internet thinking because you're not with the father of your child that you're worthless. You are not, honey. Plenty of women go through this, okay? You're not alone in that regard. And as far as being embarrassed, I know that that's something that's really going to take time to heal. And you also have to remind yourself you don't have to tell everybody why. That was your relationship that he messed up. You don't owe everybody else an explanation about why it didn't work out. You could just say, you know what? You was right. And leave it at that. People will let it rest.
Yeah.
you just tell them they were right and just move on. And you still keep going and just work on what we were talking about earlier, loving yourself, building yourself up without focusing on attaching to another person. It's going to be hard, but hopefully you have other friends and family and build a community around you and your children, because nothing I would imagine would be easy about raising a kid without their fathers. But this one was in jail. So, and usually people be going back a lot of times. So, and it doesn't sound like he's trying to live an honest life.
Yeah.
You cut your losses early. It's unfortunate that it happened the way that it did, but it's better that it end now than end later down the line and you suffer more heartache, more heartbreak, and possibly catch a case. And you sure don't want that.
And these sometimes, if you are like me and when you do mess up and be feeling embarrassed about whatever you did that could be looked at as a mistake in your own eyes, these are those moments when if you do just need to do something because you're like, I want to be accountable and I do want to get out of this cycle. These be the moments when it's like, take a moment off the internet, go on a little hiatus if you can, reflect, self-positive talks to yourself, get a little journal, even if you don't write in it every day, get the negative thoughts out on the paper.
Release them.
Yeah, like just, girl, I'm sure you are doing the best that you can with the tools that you have. And if you need more tools, we got access to more tools. And always remember that. And if you ain't praying, pray.
Facts.
Yeah.
But also, I read a little Instagram quote that like literally 2 days ago, and it said, men cheat with what's easier, not what's better. So
remind yourself of that.
Remind yourself of that. And then even for me, it's like, I have 2 kids. I was married. He done cheated on me. He bought escorts and then he tried to hide it. Sent dick pics while we're married. Girl, I tell you, when I left his ass, I was like, that's a you thing. That's not a me thing. And I just let it at that. Yeah. I never gave a shit about what people said. I didn't. I just left it at that. And in my culture, it's like divorce is not the thing that you want to do.
I bet they were like, just stay with him.
Yeah. And then like after I left, my parents were like trying to encourage me to like even just like get back with them for the kids. And I'm like, no, hell no.
And you don't want to show that bad example to your kids. People say that a lot, but kids be seeing.
Kids be seeing and they feel the vibes. Yeah. They feel the vibe. Kiki was telling us about that 40-year-old man where it's embedded in him to not be vulnerable as a man and he balding and looking crazy. You don't want your little girls to be out here running around chasing after men. They like, mama did it. That right there should have you like, oh, let me pour and reflect and heal.
Yeah.
And healing isn't fun. I think it's the way that people sometimes talk about like, and you're going to heal. It's not going to be fun. It's ugly, but you're going to get on the other side of it.
There's going to be a lot of crying sessions
and
the
some
cards.
breakdowns.
It's like surgery. Any surgery, it's like, okay, once you're done and you've relieved what other issue, okay, you're on the other side of it, but that healing process is never fun. You have been cut open. And then you're pregnant too. Like, I know you're going through it, but that's all right. You can make it through it.
When you be going through the healing process, because you're going to go through a few, I'm about to buckle up and go on one myself. You feel like you was just getting bust upside your head with a box of bricks.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's hard to look yourself in the mirror because you're like, damn, I'm looking dusty. Like, I'm looking like how I feel. Like, when are we going to get to the other side? But if you skip steps, you're going to be right back there. So,
yeah.
I'm praying for you.
Me too.
Sending you
It's gonna be a
love
journey.
and positive vibes.
And I really suggest that you read Power Moves by Sarah Jakes, but also during the day, during the night, put on some of her YouTube sermons or listen to her podcasts. It's not super churchy if you're feeling like it's going to be like that. She talks about her real story getting pregnant at 13 and she is a whole pastor's daughter.
Oh, I love her, Sarah Jakes.
Yeah, and she was hitting somebody's car because he was cheating on her. The police got called. She worked in the strip club. Listen to some of the stuff so you can hear other people's stories and know that you can come out of this.
Good luck, sis. All right, so that's it for the advice this week. And I hope that you guys send her some good positive vibes while you're listening to this. And we're going to move on to the cocktails. So if you would like to share a cocktail with us, you can send it in. Email us, put cocktails in the subject line, and the email is cocktails@cocktailspod.com.
Once upon a time, not long ago, I was a hoe, was a hoe.
Okay, Veronica. Dun, 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 dun.
I'm like, which cocktail do I want to say?
Do you have one to share with the girls?
I don't know. I mean, I'm like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Share the one that is, do any of them have humor to it? Or maybe give us a luxury one.
A luxury one?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, I mean, I have a few luxury ones. I mean, being flown out, that's a pretty luxury.
The what?
Being flown out,
Okay.
I feel like that's a luxury one.
Are there details for a story?
Mm-hmm. In a good city. And when I tell you, I was laughing for like 4 days straight. Like my cheeks was hurting.
I love
That's all I gotta say. Cause yeah, I was with somebody that was like very charismatic. I'm not gonna say when, because it's going back way till 2020. Let me just say that. But yeah, no, that was a good one. That was a good little weekend.
Do you want to tell us the story?
What happened?
Where did you go? What did y'all do? Good restaurants?
I think it was just
activities?
I think it was just like, he was so funny. And I don't think typically I'm the one that's like clowning and making like jokes. But when I tell you, like, he was like, he matched my freak. He literally went up and above. And yeah, we did a lot of like bike ridings, and around the city. And that was really fun. And then,
and where were y'all?
That baby's trying not to get caught up.
I can't say for the viewers.
Well, let me ask you a question about getting flued out. Because some of the girls be confused and they're like, is he going to fly me out? Did you have any concerns? Or were you like, I just know?
So I had met him actually at an event. And then I shot my shot. And then I beat his ass in like basketball at a little hooper thing. And after that, I think he just fell in love.
Well, that
and then he was like,
quickly.
we gotta keep in touch. And I was like, all right, let me just add you to my little roster. So, but I think he was great. He was great.
Okay.
And we still keep in touch. I mean, it's like, I think the last time I talked to him was back in September, October, because it's November now. But yeah, he was a good little person.
Okay, that might have been the
and I might
shortest
get him to
cocktail
do
in
my
the history
taxes
of
too,
cocktails.
y'all, because he's an accountant.
Oh,
CPA.
that's nice.
That is nice.
Yeah,
Nice little
You gotta
added
put him to
fact.
use. Yeah.
Well, Veronica, thank you so much for joining us on CockTales. We appreciate you for listening. Let everybody know where they can find you if you want to be found, and let everybody know about your lash company and how they can book.
Okay, well, we're going to go to imvtorres.com with 2 S. No, not .com, sorry, on Instagram. But timelessacademy.com is where you can book your lash appointment.
And make sure you guys book. I need to get a fill, but they still look beautiful.
And
when I was
have
in
a code,
Iceland.
Dean.
Oh, yeah. Coffee Bean Dean is my code. And I think you get like a small little percentage off of
Like
your
15?
I think it's we can't even remember.
Yeah.
When you book at timelessacademy.com, make sure you use code Coffee Bean Dean to get your lashes done. For Iceland, she gave me these really cute flirty lashes. This is the remnants of them. But it was I love when you do your freestyle lash.
Oh, girl. That's my signature set. I don't even know. I just go in and I just,
I love a good freestyle on a rap song or a lash. So y'all check out timelessacademy.com. Kiki, you got anything?
Yeah, I just want to remind y'all one last time to click the link in the description box so that you can come on this wonderful trip with me to Curacao. I'm really excited about it. And that's it for me. Make sure y'all are following me on Instagram at Kiki Said So.
Follow us at CockTales Podcast, and I'm at Coffee Bean Dean.
And until next week, you guys. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Bye. 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 Population. Goodbye. Bye. Bye. Wait on the drive. Bye. Bye. Bye.